Hey, Magic Monday Live! I'm feeling very enthusiastic today. I've got a good story to tell you, and I've got a couple of good messages, and I'm looking forward to sharing them. And as always, let me know that you're watching. Let me know where you're watching from. Do all that good stuff. Shall we begin? Let's! Oh no, hang on. My thing has gone wrong over here. So I'm just gonna have to type this in. I tell you what, I'm gonna do it without a title. I'll do it later. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Let's just go anyway. 3, 2, 1. Checking connection.
It's the start of the week. Grab your coffee cups. It's Magic Monday Live.
Yes, it's Magic Monday Live. And for those people who are watching on Instagram, you don't know what this is called because my titling thing didn't work for a second. So it's actually called Moving Harvey Goldsmith. That is the title, Moving Harvey Goldsmith. Some of you might be thinking, who the heck is Harvey Goldsmith? Other people know exactly who Harvey Goldsmith might be. If you know who Harvey Goldsmith is, just put it in the chat. Right? Just say that you know who Harvey Goldsmith is. If you can briefly say who Harvey Goldsmith is, you might just win a prize. And today is my message about moving Harvey Goldsmith. So Harvey Goldsmith was, well, you're going to tell me, aren't you? I've just suddenly realized you're going to tell me. Look, Percy and Dottie's nanny says, I know. I need one person just to say who Harvey Goldsmith is. And now I'm going to tell you the story. I'm going to give you a clue, by the way. He was on the telly last night. It was one of those great programs on the TV, and it's 40 years on July the 13th since Live It. First person to win is Andy Hepps. Yes, my brother wins. He's a promoter. That is correct, Andrew. Probably the most famous promoter in the UK, concert promoter. We know how many concert tickets we've got with Harvey Goldsmith Presents written on. But he was the guy who pulled everything together for Live Aid. I love it, by the way, when somebody writes English Performing Arts Promoter. Kiwi et moi. You definitely looked that up online, didn't you? And Dr. Victoria Wilson Crane, music promoter, the very same. Yes. So we're established. Look, Harvey Goldsmith, probably the biggest promoter, maybe in the world. Or definitely in the UK. There's no doubt at all about that. And he put together all the technical stuff for Live Aid and kind of made it happen. So Bob Geldof was obviously the driving force for the whole thing. But it was Midge Ure, who was his kind of number two, who didn't have that much to do with the concert. But the person who absolutely brought it all together was Harvey Goldsmith. And I was watching this thing last night, and there he is. He's sat there and he's talking about what they had to do, 40 years ago to do everything. I'm looking at him now and thinking, good grief, you looked old 40 years ago. So how old must Harvey Goldsmith be now? Somebody else is going to look that one up for me, I'm sure. And suddenly I remembered this incident, which happened to me when I met Harvey Goldsmith. And it was on October the 24th, 1989. Yes, I had to look that up. And I had to look up the actual event where it was. And it was at the NEC in Birmingham. And this is really strange. But it was the NEC in Birmingham. And I was there with my mate, Gary Smith, to see a band called Yes. But they weren't called Yes for this particular tour because for legal reasons, one of them wasn't a member, so they couldn't call themselves Yes. But to all intents and purposes, they were. They were Anderson, Bruford, Wakeman, and Howe. And the reason that we were there, and the reason that Gary and I were backstage, is because by some this is really strange. By some strange method, Gary and I had got to know Rick Wakeman. And Rick Wakeman very kindly invited us to go to this particular show and meet up with him beforehand backstage. So we had put backstage passes and everything, and we went along and we met up with Rick, and we had our meeting with him, which was really fantastic. And then he said, look, just hang around. You know, there's a bit of hospitality and stuff over there. Go out, watch the gig, and then afterwards, just come back again. And we'll have a little catch up again. So I said, that's absolutely brilliant. So we, now I can't remember whether this happened before or after the concert, but it's irrelevant, because I saw Harvey Goldsmith walking towards me, and for some reason, this came into my head. I stood right in front of him, like literally to block his path, right in front of him, that type of thing. And I went, excuse me? You know, what? I said, could you just take 2 steps back? And you know, what? I said, could you just take 2 steps back? And he goes, what are you talking about? I went, could everybody, pointing at him, just take 2 steps back? Anyway, he still didn't get it. So then I explained it and I went, every time I've ever been to a big gig that you've promoted, you've come out on stage and you've said, could everybody just take 2 steps back? So now I thought it was my turn to ask Harvey Goldsmith to take 2 steps back. What the hell was I thinking about? The security people all around kind of looking like this. And then he went, nice one. Yeah, good one. And then walked past me. And my mate, Gary, who was with me, was like, I thought you were going to get killed. I thought you were going to be beaten and at least chucked out. Anyway, after the show, we went back again. And I said to Gary, let's go and have a little look on the stage. And we went to start to walk towards the stage. And suddenly there was all this screaming and shouting. And one of the huge, big bars that they hang the lights on, it just snapped and just fell, bang, onto the stage with all these lights and stuff, and missed a few people, by centimeters. And there was a lot of kerfuffle, as you would imagine. A lot of kerfuffle took place. And while this was all kind of going on, Rick said, listen, we're just about to leave. We're going back to the hotel. We're going to have a few drinks. Why don't you come and join us? And went, brilliant. Yeah, we will. So we left, got in the car, and realized we didn't know which hotel. So we spent the next 2 hours driving around nice hotels around Birmingham, trying to find where Rick Wakeman, John Anderson. I mean, we could have spent time with John Anderson. Just to give you the idea, I love John Anderson. I just adore John Anderson. When they all had these different dressing rooms that were all set up for them personally. So Rick's was quite simple, really. And I remember John Anderson had a tent built inside of his dressing room with these amazing silver, like hieroglyphic things painted on. And then inside, he had these beautiful big rugs. And then there was a little table. And on the table, there was what looked like a child's makeup set. It probably wasn't a child's makeup set. It just looked like a child's makeup set. And I looked and I thought, wow, imagine getting a photograph of that and going, that's John Anderson's dressing room. But I just remembered up there and then to be able to retell it. But I've told so many people about that I'm sure that my memory hasn't eluded me with that part. So what's the message? Well, I was thinking about the message. There has to be a message somewhere, doesn't there? And this morning when I was out for my run, I came up with this idea. And it's about sometimes we need to take 2 steps back. For safety, we need to take 2 steps back. But not just that. If you think about it, if we're aiming all the time, aren't we? Aiming for stuff. We want stuff. We want more and more and more stuff. And we push and we push and we push forward. And we live in a world right now where we're told to always want more and to want it faster and to go for it. And sometimes just take 2 steps back. It's okay. And you get a better view and you're safer and you get to enjoy the whole thing a lot more. I hope you've enjoyed that today. That's my Magic Monday. Should we see who's here? So obviously, I think you know that the people on Instagram, I'm unable to pop your names up on the screen, but there's quite a few people on here on Instagram, which is quite nice. But Elizabeth is here. Hey, hi from Barbados. Yay! And then we've got Victoria Wilson Crane. Hi, Vic. How are you? Angie Vale's here. Hi from Witham. Angie saying 93. That must be the age of Harvey Goldsmith. Wow. Here's Chris McConnell saying, hi, Live Aid 40 years on was a great watch. I'm hitting gigs and festivals over the next few months. Well, I'm pleased that you're doing that. I'm absolutely delighted that you're doing that, Chris. Do you still have, we do, VHS recordings of Live Aid? We've got the whole lot. The whole lot is coming along out of our cupboard, and we're going to watch it on Live Aid Day. Fiona Georgie Miles is here, saying hi. Sue Hudson's here. Hi, Sue. How lovely to see you. Elizabeth saying, what a wonderful message. That was a magical message, and I feel I needed that today. There you go, Elizabeth. It's okay just to step back a little bit sometimes. Always great to catch you. Michael, thank you very much. Here's Mike, Henley Santa, storyteller. Step back just a little. Nice. Chris is saying, yes, I do. I knew if anyone would have VHS Live Aid, it would be Chris McConnell. James Corrigan. Hello, James. How nice to see you today. Good afternoon from Devon. Great to see you, James. Nice to communicate with you. Angie's saying he's 79. He's 79. All right, so what was the 91? Was that just a guess? All right. You've thrown me a bit with that one, Angie. That's okay. Patrick Roon is here. Patrick from sunny Brightlingsea is here. On good old Instagram, who have we got? We've got, well, there's lots of people who are here. Good, well done, the people who managed to get it right. English Performing Arts Promoter, Kiwi et moi, says, yes, I did, because I knew you'd looked that up. Definitely. Hi, all. YVKC. And who else have we got here? Andy Hepp says it's birthday week. It is birthday week. It's somebody's birthday this week. Mine. Yes. It's my birthday on Wednesday. And I'm very much looking forward to a nice birthday day. I always have a good birthday. I think one of the reasons is because I usually get myself a gift. You always get at least one thing you're going to really love when you get yourself gifts. So thank you for reminding us of that, Andrew. It is my birthday week. Elizabeth Tuhoy. That's good. That's a good name. Elizabeth Tuhoy. Made me giggle. Good. Andy Hepp says looking good for 60. Well, you are looking good for 60, Andrew, but you're not 60 until October, remember. Photographer. Karen's here. Just a few extra people just joined. Beauty Glow Girl has joined. Wow. I've got Instagram royalty. Beauty Glow Girl. Check her out. Check what she does with makeup. She's been doing this for a while now. She's exceptional. I'll just give her I'm going to big you up. You better stay on while I big you up, Beauty Glow Girl. She takes that things that would normally use super expensive makeup, and she does a makeover and does it with like Boots number 9 stuff and things like that, and tests out products and creates things and creates looks, and she's phenomenal. Hi, how are you doing? Andrew saying it was a bad guess. And what will you get yourself this birthday? Mike, I can't say yet. I'll ruin my surprise. My birthday isn't until Wednesday. I know what it's going to be, though. Anyway, thanks very much for tuning in, everybody. I have enjoyed this today. I hope you have too. If you're watching on replay, leave a little comment and just say that you were here. That's always nice. And let's just finish off with a bit of the theme music, and then let's have a brilliant, brilliant week. Bye.